On March 13, 2025, President Trump sent shockwaves through the global trade landscape by threatening to impose a staggering 200% tariff on all wines, champagnes, and spirits imported from the European Union. This aggressive move was a direct response to the EU's announcement of its own planned 50% tariff on American whiskey, set to take effect on April 1, 2025. The stage is now set for a transatlantic trade war with potentially devastating consequences for both sides. This latest trade skirmish represents a significant escalation in the ongoing trade dispute between the US and the EU. Both economies are still grappling with the fallout of previous tariff battles, and this new chapter threatens to further destabilize the global trading system. As the world watches with bated breath, the question remains, will cooler heads prevail, or will this trade war spiral out of control? Trump's announcement, delivered via his preferred platform of Truth Social, sent a clear message. The US would not hesitate to retaliate against what it perceives as unfair trade practices. The 200% tariff, if implemented, would dramatically increase the price of European wines and spirits for American consumers, potentially crippling imports and dealing a blow to the EU's lucrative alcohol industry. However, this aggressive approach carries significant risks, potentially harming American businesses and consumers who rely on European imports. The situation remains fluid, and all eyes are on both sides of the Atlantic as the world waits to see what the next move will be in this high-stakes trade standoff. The economic ramifications of this trade war are far-reaching and potentially devastating for both the US and the EU. The US annually imports approximately $4.9 billion worth of wine from the EU, with champagne alone accounting for over $1.7 billion. These tariffs threaten to cripple these import markets, driving up prices for American consumers and potentially forcing businesses to find alternative sources. On the other side of the Atlantic, the EU exports €4.9 billion worth of wine to the US annually, representing 29% of their total wine exports. France and Italy, major players in the global wine market, are particularly vulnerable, accounting for almost half and 40% of these exports, respectively. The tariffs imposed by the US could severely damage these key industries, leading to job losses and economic hardship. Furthermore, the tariffs threaten to disrupt the intricate supply chains that connect the US and EU economies. American businesses that rely on European raw materials or components for their products could face increased costs and production delays. Similarly, European companies with manufacturing facilities in the US could face challenges exporting their goods. The trade war also injects a significant degree of uncertainty into the global economy, making businesses hesitant to invest and hire. This hesitancy could further dampen economic growth on both sides of the Atlantic, with repercussions felt around the world. While Trump's tariff threat was positioned as a boon for American wine and spirits producers, the reality is far more complex. The Distilled Spirits Council of the United States, a powerful industry group, immediately urged the president to reconsider his stance and instead pursue a negotiated settlement with the EU. Their concern stems from the potential for retaliatory tariffs on American spirits, which could cripple exports and jeopardize jobs in a vital domestic industry. American winemakers, while potentially benefiting from reduced competition from European imports, are also wary of the escalating trade war. The U.S. wine industry, while growing, is still dwarfed by its European counterpart, and many American wineries rely on imported European grapes and equipment. The tariffs could disrupt these supply chains, driving up costs for American producers and potentially harming the industry's long-term growth prospects. Furthermore, the tariffs risk sparking a trade war that could ultimately harm American businesses and consumers. The EU has already threatened retaliatory tariffs on a wide range of American goods, including agricultural products, automobiles, and machinery. Such a scenario would be disastrous for American exporters, potentially leading to job losses and economic hardship. The American wine and spirits industry, therefore, finds itself caught in the crossfire of this escalating trade war. While some see potential short-term gains from reduced competition, the long-term consequences of a protracted trade dispute are a source of significant anxiety and uncertainty.